what was the idea behind Merit? What got you guys where you are?
Well, we used to work at a larger organization and saw many, many patients for weight loss. And it started to be more of like a robot. You would just have them come in, another one would be waiting for you. There was no creativity at all. I mean, it was really just whatever you could get done in that 10-minute visit. If they needed anything outside of the norm, it wasn't going to happen. So
the people turned into numbers.
Yeah, and we knew there was a better way. People just want a better experience. They want to feel like they're being listened to. And when you're seeing so many people and it's really a certain environment that's very hospital-like, it's hard to get there. So we said, we can do it better. Let's go and create a space that's really welcoming and exciting. We can pump people up. And so that's
we can ring
Merit
a bell.
came. Yeah, we got a bell that you ring when you lose weight.
Boom.
Boom.
Now, walk me through that 10-minute process at the old place you guys used to be at. I mean, what did that look like when a patient came in, and what were you able to answer and what were you not able to answer during that time?
Yeah, we both look at each other like, oh, God.
Only able to answer the bare minimum of what needed to be addressed. We couldn't go any further into issues. We couldn't dive into getting to know our patients better, which is important when you have that relationship that they can trust you and you're their friend, right?
Right.
That's the piece that we were missing.
Everyone was the same. You weigh in. You come in. We talk about if you've gained or lost. Are you doing okay on the med? No? Okay, now you're wasting time. Right?
I can't imagine feeling like, I can't imagine not dreading going to that. You know, it's like if that was sort of your consistent like stop on your weight loss journey. You would sort of look at that and you'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this today. So, and it's already a situation where people are in a spot where maybe they feel a little sensitive and that kind of thing, and then to add sort of that clinical edge to it, I can see why people would be uncomfortable. So what was the solution you guys found to that?
Yeah, and I will say back in that environment, you try as best as you can to make it exciting for them and do the best you can, but there's just not enough time to do it.
Sure.
Right? So our solution was, hey, let's leave. Let's open our own practice where we have time to actually sit down with people, that they don't feel rushed. They don't feel the need that there's somebody waiting in the next room for you. And so we sat down and just started brainstorming about what could make the patient experience really a lot more memorable and exciting and fun, because weight loss is not fun. Most people don't think it's fun, right? Most people, when you talk about weight loss, they're not excited about it. They're dreading it. They're getting ready for that experience to start. They're doing like the final last meal.
Oh, yeah, the Last Supper.
The Last Supper. They're like, oh, I'm going to get all my favorites all in here because I'm starting tomorrow.
They're going to take it all away from me.
They're going to take it away from me. It's going to be awful. I'm going to miss out on things. And so we're like, we need to make this fun so that it's sustainable, so it's exciting. And that's really where it all started.
I wish that I had a dime for every time I said starting Monday.
Yes.
Like every time you say starting Monday, if I had a dime for that, we'd be in a really good spot.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people in our audience know this because I've talked a lot about it, because it's the sort of thing that I think is really cool. But just in case anyone doesn't, I don't know if you two do. I'm sort of mid weight loss journey, but I've done well. I was 370 at one time, and I'm 280 right now.
Nice job.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I was at one time 268, I think, and that's as low as I've gotten. And then you like fall in love with somebody, and all of a sudden you're going to dinner a lot and that kind of thing. But now we're both on it. My fiance and I both have lost 12 pounds in the last month.
Nice.
We're really enjoying it.
Go Brian and fiance. What's her name?
Kelsey.
Go Kelsey.
Kelsey Balcom. Shout out to Kelsey Balcom.
Shout out to Kelsey.
Soon to be Kelsey Brinker.
Whoa.
Just throwing that out there. But yeah, like it's the sort of thing where when I think it depends how you approach it, because I've had a negative relationship with weight loss and I've also had a very positive one. And I think it comes down to whether or not you view that it's like a punishment that you deserve. Like when people see this idea of just, well, you're going to eat baked chicken and broccoli forever. And it especially hurts when you can imply to yourself like, well, you deserve that because you got overweight. I'm sure that you guys see that a lot in people. What would your sort of response be to kind of take the shame out of someone needing to start the process?
Well, I think first off, we do a lot of counseling with our we call them clients, they're patients, but is letting people know it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the first thing, is taking the blame away from them. Society has really done a bad job of telling people that they're overweight because they're lazy and they overeat and they have no willpower, and that's complete. I want to say bullshit. Can I say?
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
complete
have.
bullshit.
Well, you have
Right?
it, so.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's sorry.
Cussing is allowed.
Okay. So we really like to put that out there, that we don't believe in that it's their fault. We don't believe, we're here to like help them kind of, you know, retrace those brain steps and like get them right on the right pathway. And it just takes some, comes down to habits, and it comes down for a lot of people. There's metabolic issues that are holding them back from losing weight. And so that's where the medical side of things comes in. And once we do that, it's like magic. It just starts, their quality of life changes. I mean, everything changes. So
let me ask you this. Coming from where you guys are coming from, how many patients or clients did you have at that organization compared to where you want to be with your own organization? What's going to top you guys out for patients?
yeah. Go ahead. Do you remember our numbers?
Yeah, I do remember our numbers. I think we were responsible for about 700 apiece.
Yeah,
at
700 to 800
our
apiece.
previous organization, and
Over like what time span?
It was just at any given time, because people start and quit all the
Right,
time. But yeah, we were averaging around 700 patients that we were taking care
Monthly?
of at a time.
This is monthly?
Monthly, correct.
Yes.
So between the both of you, you're clearly over 1,600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be absolutely impossible to give the individual attention necessary
No.
in that situation.
And when you're having problems and want to talk about it, I don't have time because
Yeah.
I got to help this person, right? So it was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But now, you know, as far as numbers go, we want to keep it low so that we can actually give people the care they need, probably $250 each.
Are you guys already close to being there?
We're probably, halfway.
halfway.
We're like 50% full right
I
now,
mean, I
which
know
is great.
you guys must be picking up steam. I hear about
Sure.
Merit all over the place.
Yeah.
And people, I mean,
Ryan.
you know, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it should be nice to hear that I had heard of you guys
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you guys came and wanted to chat with us. And I haven't interacted with anybody who had a negative experience.
That's good.
What would you say? Let me tee up the sort of like
Tee it up.
marketing softball for you.
Yeah.
What gives you guys the success that you have with your clients?
So I keep talking.
No, you're good. I
Okay.
think the success is being able to meet our clients where they're at and design something that's unique to them and what's going to help them get where they want to be. Previously, we would see somebody for 10 minutes and it was like, all right, we'll see you in 8 weeks. So they might do good for a couple of days and feel motivated and pumped up after that, but then that can quickly start to fade and we don't touch base with them again for another
Yeah.
6 or 7 weeks. So now we're seeing people frequently,
Yeah.
weekly.
Would you say that your approach is like customizable? So there's not like a sort of one program you give people
Yeah.
a pamphlet when they come
We
in.
don't
sort of thing?
have supplements that we recommend that certain food products that they have to stick to. Not everybody gets set on one medication, and I think too a lot of people are looking. Yes, they want results, but they also remember the experience they had. And
Yeah.
every single person that comes into Merit, we want them to feel like they're motivated, they're welcomed. They walk out that door, whether they've gained or lost. They walk out that door motivated
With a smile.
to keep it going. That they can move forward. It's not an all or nothing. Like you had one bad day, okay, move on, right?
So let me ask you this, because I know creativity plays a big part in what you guys do. Tell me, like the bell, like also the way that you guys have crafted things for your people. What creative processes have you guys leaned on to make some of those things happen?
Yeah. So for the bell, I just love celebrating things, and I think that when people lose weight, there's huge, like when you get in a new category of numbers, like 250 to 240, that's freaking awesome. When was the last time you were in the 240s? 10 years ago? Ring that damn bell.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you getting a new pant size? Are you fit into the pants that you wore 10 years ago? Hell yeah, that's amazing.
I just
Yeah.
sort of realized
It's a bell ringer.
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I have like a happy association with ringing a bell is because you can do that on the way out of Long John Silver. And that might explain why I was at one time almost 370. That we found it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Well,
Like, as soon as you were saying ringing a bell, I was like, why do I have a really feel-good memory with that? Oh, yeah.
Wait, why did they ring a bell at Long John
No
Silver?
idea. It's just something you can do. You're just allowed to as you leave.
You rang it too? That's
I mean, why would you do it every time you leave? Because why not? You have the opportunity to.
I just had chicken
good
plates.
idea.
Yeah.
People like ringing bells. I guess
It's
that's the
fun.
market research I'm helping
Yeah.
with right now.
Yeah, but no, what our process is really we take time to actually sit down and we're like, nobody's going to bother us. We're going to sit down and we're going to discuss, like, how can we make the experience better? And that's one thing about leaving a big organization, having your own business is like, hey, this has been working out really well, but how can we make it even better? And you can try out all kinds of different things to make sure that you get this like ultimate experience for people. There's no box. It's just, okay, let's try this now. Oh, let's add this in, which is what's so fun about it.
It's a weird thing. Like, dealing with weight, dealing with nutrition is always complicated and emotional. Like, it always is. And it's so easy to quickly feel like a failure when you set out on the incorrect path, essentially. I think that everybody who's ever attempted to, have a weight loss success has thought to themselves, well, starting today, I'm going to run 5 miles a day and I'm going to eat 1,200 calories and I'm going to do that for the next 3 years. Yeah. And then they maybe make it 48 hours. Yeah. Probably not, but they maybe do. And then all of a sudden, the shame spiral that can follow that is just incredible. Yeah. Because you'd think, there are people who quote unquote get this right. And so you think, like, why can't I get this right? And that's why I think that having a one-on-one sort of customizable, emotionally sensitive approach to weight loss is the way to do it, because you can't just give somebody a menu of things and say, do this or you fail.
Right.
Yeah. Back on, with that too, so many people want like a meal plan, like a designed meal plan for them. And we know from our 10 years of doing this, you give somebody a meal plan and they're going to fall off within 48 hours because it's nothing that they're used to eating and it's too restrictive. And that's what we try to get away from is that shame of not being able to follow a meal plan. I mean, that's what so many people are provided is that meal plan. Yeah. I think too, and I say this to clients all the time, is if it were really that simple, that would mean everybody who's thin eats well and exercises. And we know damn well there are a ton of thin people out there who don't exercise and they eat whatever the hell they want. And they just have a beautiful metabolism and it sucks. I mean, it's really a crappy deck of cards you're dealt sometimes that gets that going.
So I'll ask you guys this. Your clients, ideal, I'll say this. What have been your most challenging clients and what have been your most ideal clients? The people who succeed at this and the people who don't.
I would say my most challenging are the clients that come in and they're like, I just want to lose a lot of weight and I want to lose it really fast because that's an unrealistic expectation, and it's also not a healthy expectation.
Yeah, those are our least favorite people, and we try to push them away. That's not our market.
They want the instant gratification.
Okay, well, you're talking about Ryan circa 2019, and I can explain why that happens. It's so bizarre, and I've mentioned this before, so to anybody who's heard this before, I'm sorry, but I was 350 for a while, and then I was like, that's fine. I was like, I'm a big guy. Who cares? And then I stepped on a scale and I was 370. I was like, oh, you mean almost 400. I'm going to die tomorrow. Like, it was one of those things. It was like, no, I can't do that. And it feels like an emergency. I mean, I spent probably 15 or 16 years putting weight on, and I was like, no, I need to have this off in the next 24 days. Right. And you just sort of feel that sense of urgency, and it's all you can think about. Yeah. And so as a result, of course, I've done the crash diets,
the keto.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I did that for a year.
Beach,
and like, it's great till you stop.
Yeah, right.
And then when you stop, all of a sudden, we're heading back up. But there's no way around it, as far as I can tell. Like, and you guys are the experts, but this has been my experience, is that I spent the first probably 3 years of my weight loss journey trying to avoid repairing my relationship with food to ultimately find no, you got to do that at some point. That's sort of the way.
That's the foundation.
You can be like I'm never gonna eat cake again for forever, and it's like, all right, that's kind of a band-aid though. You're gonna have to address some of the psychological aspects underneath this.
If you want to show up,
cake, jeez, it's always someone's birthday, and it's always someone, there's a holiday. It's always like,
or you might get married.
Yeah,
there might be cake involved.
I'm gonna be real with you. At my wedding, I don't think it's gonna be
And
broccoli and
somebody's
chicken.
bringing
No.
donuts to the office unannounced.
Yeah.
It happens.
Shout out to Bill. You know which Bill you are if you're listening, by the way. We do love you though. But yeah, so talking about getting to the psychological part underneath the weight loss journey, if you were to describe like a percentage to it, how much of the battle is that? How much of the battle is mental?
Oh my gosh. I'd say 80%.
I was going to say the same.
We get into it now.
It is. It's so mental of staying in the game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And once you start realizing that, if you set yourself up for weight loss, if every person was like, hey, I want to lose, say it's anywhere from 20 to 100 pounds, doesn't matter, but you said to yourself, it's going to take me a year. Right? If you just wrapped your head around that idea, I think everybody would have a much more pleasant experience with losing weight, with becoming healthy. But unfortunately, you look at Instagram, you look at TikTok, you look at everything out there says it's showing you those 1% of people who they're so strict with themselves and it's so unrealistic and they've gotten results. So you're like, oh, I can do that.
5% body fat.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And so you get this unrealistic expectation of how quickly you need to lose it. And then when you don't lose the 20 pounds in a month, you're like, this is unacceptable. I'm working my ass off. I might as well just go eat whatever I want.
Yep.
Where if you had just taken time, you would consistently just lose weight over the year. But instead we do this. We go, sorry, nobody can see my hands. You go down.
Oh no, they can't.
Oh, okay. Good. You go down and then you go right back up and you're right back to where you were, and it was just torture.
It's a funny thing where if you set out with an unrealistic expectation, a success still feels like a failure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're like, I'm gonna lose 40 pounds in a month, and you actually lost 11, and you're like
Yes.
disappointed.
Yes.
You're like, you lost 11
We've literally
pounds,
had
and you're
these
like,
discussions
"Oh."
with people where
Yeah.
they'll come in and they'll lose, 8 pounds in a month, and they're like, this is just unacceptable. Like, I don't think I can keep doing this and keep coming here. And we're like, wow, that's so unfortunate because you're doing fantastic. You just lost 2 pounds a week and you didn't have to starve yourself. Like,
Right.
that's exciting. Imagine if you kept doing it for 6 months or 4 months, but yeah, it's really hard to wrap people's head around the idea that it's not going to be 2-3 months of a process.
I'm curious about your guys' philosophy on a couple of things because again, I'm sort of really ingrained in this sort of deal. It's like a topic of interest. It just sort of has to be like while you're in it.
Yeah.
And don't give away too much of your secret sauce because I know that
Secrets.
a great way to lose weight is to become a client at Merit. But shy of that, I wonder your guys' take on a couple of things.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy on calorie tracking as a general thing?
It's not for everybody.
It's not.
It's not for everybody. We actually start out our clients not tracking calories, and that bothers a lot of our
Some people, yeah.
a lot of our clients. They're like, but I need to know how many calories I can have. But what we're just trying to figure out is what times a day they eat, how much they eat, what they like. Because until we know what they like to eat and what their schedule's like, it's hard to slap on a calorie and macro recommendation and move forward.
Yeah, we actually developed a Merit Daily Journal that our clients will track in. It's a paper journal. It takes very little of their time, but it gives us a wealth of knowledge and a look into their day-to-day.
Yeah. And there's definitely a time and place for calorie tracking. If you're at a plateau or you're getting frustrated, like absolutely, let's look at how many calories are in that coffee every day that you're having. So we definitely use it, but it's not for everybody. Yeah.
Now you're hitting where I live.
Yeah.
But it's not for
Leave
everybody.
my coffee alone.
Yeah, but it's totally not for everybody. And for some people, it's super unhealthy. They go into calorie tracking and then they're like, oh, I'm 50 over, and then they feel like it's a failure. And I'm like, dang, you got within a couple hundred of your calorie goal every day. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, you know?
And it's still like that was always the hard part for me was that it would be you get one over.
Yeah.
And like the MyFitnessPal thing with like the
Yes.
number turns red.
It's red,
Yeah.
damn it.
And you're
Shame
like,
on you.
oh, okay, all right.
Shame on you.
Right, yeah.
Of course.
That's,
Like as silly as it seems now in hindsight, like when you have a poor relationship with food, you're like, well, if I'm already over,
Yeah.
I may as well go 3,000 over.
Right.
way over.
Right. It's
When,
just
of course,
a negative.
when you would set it up, it's for a 500 deficit. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you only hit 493 today. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Or you've got 300 left, so you can have
Yeah.
a Snickers before bed.
Right.
Right, right.
We can
Some
work
people
on
do
that.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I want to say this because I've had the pleasure of being able to have a few drinks with you guys on the town.
Yeah.
You guys are fun people.
Oh,
Right?
that's
We
nice.
like
so,
that.
are you guys.
Well, thank you. My wife is a client of you guys'.
Yeah.
Now, she's been on diets throughout her whole life, all of them. This is the most excited I've ever seen her. These are the most results I've ever seen her get.
Yeah.
And she just loves you guys. So you guys give a lot of...
Wait, SJ. Hit the number that she's lost as of this recording.
39 pounds.
Oh my gosh, Randa.
39.
Kicking ass.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Oh, the applause. Thank you. We are in front of a studio audience.
Yes.
So you guys really give people the positive belief in a potential future. You know,
Yeah.
you inspire folks.
Yeah.
Now, and I know that's something that you guys had wanted to do. Do you feel that is just the way just the reason you guys bring the amount of energy that you bring? Because I see you guys do a lot of different things, and there's some people who approach things in ways that are not very energetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just kind of there. Hey, come here. You can lose some weight. But ever since I've seen you guys' posts, I'm seeing the waves.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the open mouths. I'm seeing the jumping up and everything like that. But that does something for people.
Yeah.
It's like I was telling Connor earlier today, the co-founder of this company. One thing that people say about him a lot is his depth of thinking. People say they love my energy and stuff like that. You know, of course, there's a lot of other things I have besides just my energy. But if that's the thing that is making people excited, you know, I keep at it. I keep turning up. And I see that some of the same things in you guys. Now, where did that come from?
You know, I don't know. I think part of it is we want everybody to have a feeling about this process, and that's what they're going to remember is that feeling. And so if they can come in and be like, I know I'm going to go in there and they're going to make me feel better about this whole process, even though it's been a rough week, or they're going to celebrate me when I come in. I mean, that's where that energy comes from. And also just seeing people's results, and like, it is life-changing. You were mentioning that earlier, how when you help someone lose weight, or really when someone loses weight, right, it changes everything about their life. It impacts so many different things. And so we're excited for them, and to be we're so honored that, you know, they've chosen us to be a part of their process. And so that's where that excitement is coming. It's like we genuinely are like pumped up that they're there, and then that they're getting results is even better.
Yeah, we've been able to help a lot of really interesting people, and our clients are top notch, I will say.
Yeah.
But when we sat down and in the beginning stages of Merit, we just want everyone to walk out feeling like a badass.
Yeah.
That's how everyone should feel.
I like the image that I get out of that is that, you know, you look at this sort of what for a lot of people is a somber responsibility thing, like, oh, I've got to lose weight or whatever. And you guys are like, no, damn it, you guys are going to have fun here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Like, you want to lose weight. I mean, everybody wants to or need, you know, they say, oh, I want to or I need to, but like, this is like, you genuinely are excited to.
Yeah.
Because it's a better experience, and you know it's going to be long term.
See, that's the difference. And that's been me recently, is like thinking about, instead of like what I don't get right now, it's what it's going to be like in a year.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do a pull-up. You know, it's stuff like that. It's like, that's going to be cool.
That is cool.
Which, by the way, here's another one of those like weight loss philosophy questions. Exercise is a tool for weight loss.
Yeah, you know, I'll let you take that.
I like to look at weight loss being 90% nutrition related, and exercise is key for maintaining what we lose. So it's definitely not anything I ever focus on up front. But as we start to get to a certain point in our journey, I'm like, okay, now let's get moving. Let's have a little fun with this.
Yeah, people are pretty surprised that we don't really address it in the first. I usually ask like, oh, how active are you? But I barely touch on that the first couple months.
Well, that's got to be what people come in assuming is you're going to give me 1,200 calories a day and tell me to exercise. And it seems like neither of those things come true.
No, I mean, it really does come down to nutrition and mindfulness, that relationship with food, not getting into the all or nothing mentality and staying consistent. That's where the results come from. And then we can add in the exercise to just tone and make you feel even more like a badass. I mean, that's really where that comes from.
And we do like to help our clients step out of their comfort zone. Like this Saturday, we're going to be cycling with our clients at Crunch Fitness and just trying new things with them.
We've never done cycling, so we're excited about that.
We're going to have sore bums, but we're going to do it and
we're
have
gonna make
fun.
it work. It's going to be fun.
Bum thumbs.
It's going to be fun.
So I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Do it.
What do you guys like to do for fun?
Well, SJ, you know, you were mentioning cocktails earlier. Yes.
Cocktails and chit chat.
Yeah, exactly.
I love to just go out and have a good happy hour. I like going to local places here and finding fun drinks to have. And
love a good cocktail.
I know, I do. And that's another thing here is like, you can't restrict those things. I mean, you want some restriction, but like you have to incorporate those things that you love into your lifestyle. Like when somebody tells me, oh, I know I need to quit drinking wine, I'm like, listen, I don't. So you enjoy it. You enjoy Right. Well, let's work on everything else, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? You're kind of a
With 4
cocktail girl
kids,
as well.
I don't really have a lot of social time.
Well, it seems like just based on what I've seen on social media and what I've heard about you both is that community is pretty important as far as not only your business but just like your approach to social life and everything else.
Yeah, I was born and raised Topeka girl. Love this place. I knew I was never leaving. I just think it's great. And what's changed over the last 10 to 15 years, just for socially and things to do. It's so exciting. And you really just need to look out there, and you can find so many fun things to do. All the new places that are opening up. It's awesome.
You guys said something that is tremendous. I want to double back to it. Now, all you guys out there listening, they said you could still drink and lose weight. Now, that's something that a lot of times you'll go to a place and they tell you can't drink.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They'll be very restrictive. And how fun that's going to last.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you get in the scarcity mentality where then when you are around alcohol, you're like, hell yeah, let's have a good time. Yeah. Which you should do that anyways every once in a while, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. I can see that's just another thing that makes people love you guys.
Yeah. All things in moderation, Now, granted, are we recommending a pina colada every night? No. But a Chardonnay that's 5 ounces and 110 calories, enjoy it.
Yeah. It's all about balance.
It's all about balance.
And again, I think that part, I don't want to say unavoidable because that sounds negative, but it's not to be avoided.
Right.
Right. Because there was a point where I think I mentioned this on air at one point, but when I was in college and I was 370 pounds, I was a half pack a day smoker and I never exercised either. Yeah. So you look at that and you're like, every time I tried to take a positive step forward, it always meant giving up something I liked.
Yeah.
So every time I remember I had sort of a weak moment where I was on the phone with my sister and I was just like, God, can't I have anything? I was like, I can't have the cigarettes that I want. I can't have the food I want. I got to go to the gym and it sucks. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like I can't have anything. But it's about what you're exchanging it for. Because now I would never go back. If you told me now, you go ahead and eat whatever you want and have all the cigarettes you want, but you're going to feel now how you did when you were back then. There's no shot I would take that deal. And I think that mindset and understanding that is key to the process and shouldn't be avoided.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. It's true. And you have to still incorporate those things that you love in moderation. Otherwise, it will never last. You've got to still feel good and feel yourself. Absolutely. Yeah. But and it's true. It's that exchange of, hey, listen, I love craft beer. I love having a craft beer every week. Okay, well, let's do one craft beer and then move over to the lighter beers the rest of the time,
One thing I'm hearing is something that we've talked about a lot. Even from what Ryan was saying, he wouldn't go back to that. Mm-hmm. He's been through it. He's had the experience. Mm-hmm. He knows how it feels. And it's like somebody loses some weight, and now you're talking to them about maintaining it. Mm-hmm. So now, since they went through this experience of losing 50 pounds, they want to keep it off now because they feel much different than they did. So now at this point, they're probably willing
and feel able
to do it.
That they can get to the gym and do it. So the experience is what changes us. Is that what you guys see?
I think too that the further we step away from things like the cigarettes, the less our brain desires them.
Right.
And we've found new things, healthier things to replace those.
Yeah, that excite you and make you feel good. And
those temptations just kind of dwindle away. Mm-hmm. And then you look back and you're like, man, I can't believe I ever wanted a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say that there might be some people who are listening who feel inspired for the first time that they could lose weight.
Yeah.
What is something right now, today, as they're listening to this, that someone could do that would put them in the right direction?
Oh, yeah. One thing we love is water. Listen, guys. Listen up. Okay? There is no secret, but here's one secret, right? Everybody underestimates water. It is so much, it's magic, okay? So one thing that we recommend for all of our clients is 80 ounces of water. Yeah, there we go. 80 ounces of water a day. Every single day. Don't underestimate it because it flushes that system. It makes sure that you're not bloated. I know it sounds counterintuitive to lose water weight. You drink more water, but you do. You feel less bloated. You feel cleaner. It just is. It's magic. So if you're not doing it now, I don't care what your excuse is. Get you drinking 80 ounces of water or work your way up to it because it really is magic. What would be your second thing?
Ooh. second thing to start.
Yeah. I think too, the second thing, and this is what we recommend, is just get a notebook and just write down the time of day that you're eating and what you eat. Mm-hmm. That helps to build that relationship with your food, because you start to get more intuitive about why am I eating this at this time, right? So if you're, maybe even look at like what was happening that day. Like one day if you ate, you felt like you were snacking all day long. What was going on? Did you have like a horrible meeting? Was something stressing you out? Okay, let's look at that reaction to that and why you were pleasure seeking with food. And
6 a.m. prize package triple cheeseburger.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, like, those are things you should know about, right?
It was a bad day.
It's starting to notice patterns, and you just want to. Journaling just helps you be more mindful. It helps you, and you don't have to do it forever. Some people are like, "Oh, I hate journaling." Oh, listen, I get it. Not everybody loves it, but even doing it for 5 days out of every month is being more intuitive about like, oh wow, I don't need that extra 5 crackers, and eliminating the extra 5 crackers that you didn't need for a year. I mean, that's pretty.
That's significant.
It's significant.
Yeah.
Those little calories add up.
This seems like a really basic and obvious question, but actually it might be beneficial for some people to hear what are the benefits of losing weight.
Yeah, well, for one, you feel like a badass.
Yes.
You're going to have more energy, your sleep is better, your health is better, blood pressure. You know, for a lot of people, when we start medications or we start losing, we'll say, I know we're adding a medication now, but it could be preventing you from being on 10 down the road. Right. All the work you're doing now, I know it's hard to see, but it's preventing so much down the road of mobility, medications that you're on, the lab work you have to get done, the procedures that you have to get done. It really does make a huge difference there. For sure. Yeah.
It sounds like it's a major confidence boost as well.
Hell yeah, it is. Pain is better, so you can get around a lot better. You can go to, Disney World and walk around without your knees getting sore. Go to Worlds of Fun and get on all the rides. I mean, there's so many other little benefits to it.
I don't think it's too much to say, and again, you guys are the experts, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if you are 50 pounds overweight and you lose a significant amount of that, it's impossible to not have that positively impact your mental health.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think that's realistic. Is like, because again, I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger had a quote where he said that having a great physique is something you can't steal, you can't cheat your way to it, no one can give it to you. Yeah. There's only one way to do that, actually.
You got to earn it.
And boy, that's something. You could look at that. You could look at like a 100-pound weight loss or something, and you could say, whatever else I think about me or anybody else thinks about me, geez, I did that one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That a whole lot of people are wishing they could do.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, that's just unavoidable. That's an unavoidable, really kick-ass benefit of this whole process, in addition to all the physical health.
It's all you. Nobody can take that away from you, what you've accomplished and how you feel, and that's amazing.
So I'll ask you guys this. What is the goal for Merit Weight Loss? When will you guys reach what you envisioned as far as when you started this company? What does that look like?
I'll let you answer that.
I mean, I feel like we've already reached what we envisioned. We're making a great impact on the people and the health in Topeka and our community. So,
and we're happy.
Yeah,
I think that's a bigger thing too. It's awesome seeing our clients be so successful and having fun with it ourselves, is without the burnout. I mean, that's just really where we wanted to be.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
You guys reached that within months.
Yeah,
we've been open about 5 months now.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing. Yeah,
it is.
It's been great. Yeah, but as far as where we're going, I don't know. I mean, we'll just keep growing and see how many other people we can help, and then if we need to go to other places, we can do that too. Yeah, who knows?
Well, I think we'll head in the direction of wrapping it up, but I suppose for the city, just for our listeners, for anybody else, what's something that you want to let them know? Ooh. What's your message to the people?
The message to the peeps.
I would say, listen, if you feel like you're wanting to get healthier, we're rolling into like New Year's and resolutions and whatnot. Focus on the everydays. That's what we really focus on, is those habits that you do every day. It's the 80 ounces of water. It's maybe keeping the food journal, maybe watching how late you're eating at night, or the snacking you're doing from the break room. Like, do you really need to go in there? It's just the everydays of something that you can add in, and yeah.
And I'd say if you feel like you've tried everything, it's okay to let us try to help you.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
It's hard.
That's really good.
It's really hard.
It's not easy, and if it were easy, everybody would do it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's okay to ask for help. I mean, sometimes it's nice just having somebody to be a sounding board to troubleshoot when you hit a plateau or you feel like you're stuck or you're not motivated. That's where we come in. We've been doing this a long time, and we look at each individual and just say, okay, this is probably what we can tweak, and then we can start getting those results for you again.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very positive spin on what I think is unfortunately a negative topic for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be.
Ooh, and last thing, stop comparing yourself to your spouse
Yep.
or your friend or your
Yep.
coworker or anybody online, because I tell you what, that is just one quick way to lead to depression and just that you're a failure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you are only, just look at yourself.
And Ryan, what's the one thing we always talk about for comparisons?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Boom.
Yes,
yes.
100%. That
Boom.
is, that, I mean, honestly,
frame that in our
that's one of the
office.
biggest things of why people give up on themselves is they're just comparing themselves. And so they're like, oh, I'm not doing as good as that person, so they quit.
Look at his Instagram. He's got 7% fat.
Let me
Yeah.
Horrible.
let me throw this out there as a guy who's not only losing fat, but I'm starting to like actually lift weights now a little bit.
Ooh, Ryan.
When you see people on Instagram in the gym
Yeah.
and you think their physique looks like that, they have what's called a pump. They just worked out.
Yes.
They don't walk around all day looking like that.
Yes.
So no disrespect to them. I understand
No.
getting a pump before taking a picture, but I'm just saying if you're sitting there on your couch,
Take this picture. Hold on.
if you're sitting there on your couch thinking, well, I don't look like this bodybuilder who's in the gym right now, neither does he when he's sitting on the couch.
And they've probably been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's
right?
just, it's an important note because
Yes.
I see that sometimes. They're like, why can't I look like that? It's like they don't most of the time either. So
They're pumping.
yeah,
They pump.
you know, if you're watching, this is really niche now, but if you're watching like some professional bodybuilder right before a show, he's on a cut right now. That's different. It's
Yes.
not all year.
No.
And it's the same thing with, you just got to note that about especially comparing yourself to people online.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't know what went into this,
Yeah.
or what about it is completely real.
Yep.
That's just something to think about.
Take it day by day. Don't compare yourself to others. That's just one quick way to not be successful is when you start looking at other people and then feeling like you're not doing well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not to get mushy about it, but I think
Yeah.
the community is lucky to have you guys.
Aw,
I've heard too many good
Thank
things,
you.
so I'm glad you
Yeah.
guys are out there doing what you're doing. If
Thank you.
if our listeners and our fans want to find out more about you guys, where are you at on social?
We are at Merit Weight Loss on Instagram and Facebook, and then you can go to meritweightloss.com to learn more.
The .com Merit Weight Loss. What they talking about? Why they talking loud?
Okay.
Ladies,
thank you.
tunes. Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
both
thank
for
you guys
coming
for
in.
having us.
It's been
Thank you
great.
for having us. This was fun.